Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope your mental and physical health are good and fit. So today I'm going to talk about a little bit of a spiritual side of it. So if you're into it, maybe makes sense. If not, maybe take it as fantasized, stories, fantasy stories. So, for instance, when you live, you encounter difficulties. No matter what kind of person it is, as long as you're human, you encounter some sort of difficulties. It could be the relationship, could be finance, could be your health, or could be the family. And it all depends on your soul level and the theme that you wanted to learn for this time in life, in your body. And because of this soul, it's forever and been learning so many different aspects of human beings, like learning so many different aspects of things. And then so that your soul, it could be on this time wanting to learn a certain theme. It could be some sort of relationship matters, or it could be getting out of the pressure or the finance, and it all depends. So when you need to learn the theme, it really needs to create the environment where you really believe that's really happening, in a reality, so that your memory is gone. The memory meaning that you're here to learn something to enhance your growth of the soul. And because you have no memory of it, you believe what's happening in front of you. So you learn so many things along the way from your parents, teachers, medias, and friends, and what's happening in life. And you adapt, you start to accept those ideas, which not necessarily good for you, but you just don't have that judgments yet. So especially when you're little, your parents are the first one, first loved one that you encounter, and you openly trust them because that's what they are. And if the wrong information is being fed, you just don't know, you just accept. You just eat those information and put it in your body and the system. It becomes to think like that. So a lot of things later on in your life, those beliefs are no longer serving you because your purpose is different. You've learned so many lessons. So it really how you say interact is not interact. Differentiate, no. It really conflict with your belief that currently you have. Anyway, so you really needed to set up the environment that it feels so real. That's why you have no memory, why you're here for, and why you chose to be born into certain families. And for instance, for me, I was born in a family where very strict, so many rules to follow, and I used to hate it. I used to argue with them because it didn't make sense. But parents are strong financially and also verbally. So I was literally stepped on and crushed on, and I went through the hell in my head that I was not worthy, I don't have any confidence, I was told certain ways, so I lived by that. And at the end, I felt really small, and I felt no confidence, I didn't feel importance inside of me, and so led my life to live that way for so many years. And then I started to figure out, like, okay, why am I here for? Why am I feeling this pressure? And something inside of me says, this is not you. Just you need to really go out and forward and discover something. I didn't know what this voice is, but if you have this voice, talking to you. Pay attention. Everybody has this little voice talking to you, or the feel. That's how the higher self will communicate with you. They don't have the language that you speak, so that they use those feelings or gut feeling or a little voice inside of you. That's their ways of communication. So when you spend so many years of being very tough years and you've learned your lessons and you need to move on, you need to really now discover that, or consciously aware of what's happening as a whole. And when you have this vision as a whole, you start to really figure out why you went through that hell, why you had to have that experience, because your soul really needed to learn to enhance your ability to deal with maybe human relationships, or to understand how things are that your soul needed to learn. So instead of dwelling on the experience that you had, a really painful experience that you had, when you dwell on it, it's a bad loop. And when you stay there too long, it becomes a norm. You feel like you never get out. You feel like that's your life, and you feel like you just don't have opportunities to be better. But you do. You literally need to pay more attention to your focus and attention to your conscious level, and raise that, so that you've learned your lesson and you need to move on with your own life. And that precious experience that you had must have really strengthened your core, no matter what kind of experience you had in your life, because the theme is so different, but it must have made you very strong in certain ways. And you can go on with your own life now, that it really radiate and towards the one that you really wanted to live. Be comfortable, be in peace and happy and joyful. And your definition of success, or definition of living your own self, could be so different from your family members, but that's okay. You could be a pioneer of your own path, and that's totally fine. So you need to get over those fears, or feelings of being approved by the others. You have your own unique style of living, the comfortable space and a comfortable being. And when you are aligned with yourself, you feel so comfortable with yourself, and calm and peaceful, and less of those worries and anxieties and anger and a guilt feeling. So when you become very conscious about your being, you can really see the whole picture, why you were born in that family, why you went through that experience. It's all needed, but you don't need to repeat over and over and over now. It's time for you to wake up consciously and move on with your own life. You have so much light and love inside of you. It's time for you to radiate that and really shine yourself. And when you live in that zone of comfort and peaceful, you radiate so much of love and light, and others will feel it, and they will become very calm and happy. So you really need to focus on yourself. Your focus is inside, not the outside. When you know that, it really life start to really move smoothly. And your consciousness is the key to get out of that bad loop, if you were like me. And there's always light, and you just need to consciously look for that. and you have so much good stuff inside of you, the magical light and love, and it just let it shine. And it's time for you to move on with your own life and be so comfortable. See you soon.